I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. Very cool stuff this week. Before you know, hey, just real quick, before you jump to other sections, let me intro this real quick. I mentioned last week that I want to do some like a live Q&A. So I kind of set a tentative date for that, being the first weekend in September. So that's kind of when I was hoping to do this. So again, you know, if you have any ideas or any input on that, just let me know. Just because, you know, I mean, just let me know, even if you would watch it or attend this thing. Basically, I guess I would kind of, you know, I would make a forum spring, and you could post your questions there, and you know, you could be in the chat room, and I could just kind of, you know, talk and you know, keep things going, I guess. I'm not sure how it would work. It would just kind of an experimental thing, you know, to see if we could do it. But if everything works, it'd be kind of cool to do a live Disney News and Reviews one weekend. So that would be kind of cool, where I could interact with you while I review two things. So that's kind of what I'm working on, you know, for the future, especially of this channel. YouTube one recently said that it's doing live streaming. I'm not sure if that applies to me, so I'll have to I'll have to research that. So who knows? But anyway, just wanted to to keep that in mind, and just give me some input on that. I really need some. I really have no idea how that's working. Also, I've been asking a lot of people on Twitter. I actually do have a Twitter at File91e. I'm on Twitter, and the links in the description box below, along with all the other links and stuff like that. But I mean, I am on Twitter, so if you want to kind of keep up with me, I'm not trying to get Twitter followers. I'm just saying, a lot of people ask me, "Are you on Twitter?" Yes, I am. So you can follow me on that. That's the closest, really, social media. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it with me this week. So again, if you have any input on the whole live streaming thing, just let me know. Yeah. So yeah, let's get right to the news. Now there's big Fantasyland news coming out this week, guys. Disney announced that Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, Be Our Guest Restaurant, Enchanted Tales with Belle, Ariel's Grotto, Gaston's Tavern, and Bonjour Village Gifts will begin previews on November 19th of 2012, with the grand opening of the new Fantasyland set for December 6th. Yes, this is official Disney news. Disney officially released it, saying that December 6th will be the opening date for the new Fantasyland. As previously planned, the new Fantasyland expansion will continue with the opening of Princess Fairy Tale Hall in 2013 and the debut of a new Disney mountain in the form of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train coaster in 2014. Also, the remainder of Storybook Circus will be open in time for the grand opening on December 6th, because only half of Storybook Circus is really open right now, so the rest of it will be open on December 6th. This includes Pete's Silly Sideshow character meet and greet and Big Top souvenirs. Now, what is Pete's Silly Sideshow, you ask? Well, Disney gave us some concept art on that. It's a meet and greet that will include sideshow versions of your favorite classic Disney characters. Those characters include Minnie Magnifique, Madame Daisy Fortuna, the Great Goofini, and the astounding Donaldo. Yes, Donaldo. The queue will be split into two sides, one for Minnie and Daisy and the other for Goofy and Donald. So, big stuff. December 6th, the new Fantasyland is going to open officially. They're going to, as of November 19th, there'll be kind of preview openings, so soft openings and stuff like that. But officially, it will open on December 6th, so I'm sure there's going to be a huge deal going on. So the whole new aerial ride, the Storybook Circus is going to be opened up. I can't wait to see that. I know I'm kind of hoping that maybe I'll hit the lottery and I'll be able to get down there in time for that. So Who knows? That'd be great. So if you're going down during that time, be sure to check out the new Fantasyland opening on December 6th. Some other big news, Walt Disney Imagineering has just completed an organizational reshuffle which appears to point to some significant activity at Walt Disney World in the near future. Kathy Magnum, a 30-year-plus veteran at WDI, Walt Disney Imagineering, who has most recently overseen the Cars Land project at Disneyland Resort, has moved to Florida to become executive producer Walt Disney World portfolio. Basically, she's going to be kind of running things down there. In this new role, Kathy becomes the creative producer for Walt Disney World, partnering with Jack Blitch. Joe Rohde continues as a creative director in Disney's Animal Kingdom. He's the guy that pretty much designed all of the Animal Kingdom. And Eric Jacobson continues with responsibility for the creative side of the Magic Kingdom, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. These changes come as Walt Disney World is starting to wrap up on the new Fantasyland expansion and is nearing groundbreaking on the new Avatar at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. In the next coming weeks. They're getting a kind of a lead shuffle here. They're getting ready for this new stuff after Fantasyland finally opens up. So I'm really excited to see what's coming in the near future. So as a for a Disney Parks fan, it's really an exciting time. And finally, in rehab and refurbishment news, Pirates of the Caribbean is scheduled to be closed for a one-day refurbishment on October 9th. In recent weeks, work has been taking place in the queue area with speculation of some next-gen elements being included. It would seem logical that the single-day closure could be related to completing this work, so they might have the little scanner things. They might implement them. So it should be interesting. October 9th, Pirates of the Caribbean will be closed, so keep that in mind if you're going down. Reschedule all that around that. So yeah, so awesome. That's the news this week. Big stuff. Let's get right to the reviews. Alright guys, now this week will be the final viewer request week. I will be doing more, so don't worry about it. In the future, so for the future, just keep in mind with these viewer request stuff, I like to honor the requests that are kind of different. No matter what, I'm always going to get to the to that specific ride or whatever that you're wanting me to review. I'm going to get to Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever else eventually. But it's the other stuff, the stuff like the Disney check-in or the Disney dining plan or the these other random things that you want me to talk about for whatever reason. That they're the stuff that I kind of like to review or talk about during these little times that we have together for the viewer requests. So that's the kind of stuff that I look forward to reviewing. Because honestly, as weeks go on, talking about just rides gets almost a little bit boring. Almost a little bit. But so I like I like the fact that people expand their minds and want me to talk about or want to learn more about certain other aspects of Disney World that just doesn't really concern with rides. For instance, these last two, a bunch of people requested it. One was the online pre-check-in, especially one guy. He's going down soon. Hopefully he hasn't gone yet, and he's going down soon, and he wanted me to talk about that. And then there's the Disney dining plan, which I have huge knowledge in because I used both of these when I went down last time. So yeah. Now the first thing I want to talk about today is the online pre-check-in for your Walt Disney World Resort hotels. And now it was designed to streamline actual resort check-in. But anyway, I'll get to that later. Now this is applicable to all Walt Disney World resorts. No, not Disneyland yet. The Disney Cruise Line and the Disney Movie Club have their own little versions of this. Now if you book through the Disney Reservation Center or the Disney Cruise Line, you will get online check-in information via either an email, online, or whatever. So check that out. And if you booked via the Disney Vacation Member Services, just check your member page for all that information if you want to register and check in online. Now you have, for the regular people, all us regular people, you can check in up to 10 days in advance. You have 10 days in advance through your arrival day, and that's pretty much it. Here's a link. You can Google it. I have it in the description in the description box down there, so you can check it out if you want to. You got to put in your you basically have to log into Disney World. It's your my reservation page, and you go in and you can follow all the prompts, and you just answer all the questions. You basically have to give a credit card. You know how in most hotels require that you have a credit card to bill to the hotel, and you can punch all that stuff in and do everything pretty much online, and it almost guarantees that your room will, or that you'll at least have a room when you're down there. Now, this does not guarantee that your room will be ready. That's one thing that I was actually going to wait to let you know, but this is a pretty big thing I want to drill into your head. This does not guarantee that your room will be ready when you go in. Basically, how it works is you go in to the hotel after you get off the bus and everything. I actually have video of all that in my part 1 of my going to Disney, my Disney World video. You can see me actually do this check-in process at the hotel. My friend Bob was kind enough to film. But anyway, you get off the bus, you go into the lobby. Now there's 2 different sections or areas of the grand little desk there, the registration desk. There's the normal, which is usually pretty big, and then there's the online check-in section. And usually that line isn't too busy. That's that's kind of what they're going for. The online check-in people kind of get almost special privileges, almost a little bit. Anyway, so you should have your confirmation number and all that stuff. I kept, literally in this little binder of mine, I kept every single thing. Every scrap of paper, every little bit of information, every time I was on a web page, I printed it out. Just because I wanted to make sure that I had every bit of information and nobody could, kind of swindle me. That's the one thing about, Disney will never ever try to swindle you, but it's always good to keep your information handy. Keep it in like a little binder. I don't have it. I think it's in my bag, but it's it's just a little binder that has all my Disney stuff in it, with folders and different things, and notes to write on, and just important numbers like this that you have to have. So that's a good little tip if you're going down to Disney World. Remember to bring everything, because it's harder. Preparation is free. Now, after you go up and talk to the nice people at the desk, you're going to receive a welcome folder. This is your welcome folder, pretty much, and in it will be your your card, your keys to the world, basically your room keys. They kind of look like credit cards and stuff like that. Now you will need to present a photo ID to pick up the packet and complete the check-in. Basically, the whole online check-in thing is to kind of eliminate a lot of the process. To finish it, you actually have to be there with your ID and the credit card and whatnot that they just need to verify to make sure it's real. The online check-in will include providing the credit card that can be used for room charges. Your arrival and departure times can be confirmed. The address, your on-site cell phone number, the names of all the guests. Is just you're confirming all of this stuff. It's basically agreeing to the terms and regulations of the hotel. It's basically used to do all of that stuff so that that can be skipped when you're actually at Disney World. Now, you will not be able to change your reservation using the online check-in service. So don't try to use that. You're going to have to go into your My Reservations thing and call Disney or do whatever you have to do if you need any reservations changed. This is not for that. Now, like I said, this does not necessarily mean that your room will be ready when you arrive. Now, for me, I was lucky. Basically, when I went in, I went up to the lady. She gave me this, this packet. Basically, it had my my room number and a map and all this other stuff, and it was nice and it was cool because it was all ready. When I got there, she literally said, "Oh, Mr. Roten, okay, blah blah," and she walked over, she grabbed the little packet and said, "Okay, this is this and this is that. I need to see your ID, please. Blah 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 blah. Here's your room number. Here's this. You're in the 101 Dalmatians thing." She had no idea who Pongo was. I was like, "Yeah, it's the one with the giant dog, right, Pongo?" She goes, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah." So it's kind of funny. I might show that in a video in a minute, but it's pretty much it. And but when all that was said and done, I had my room ready. It was now granted we did stay in a preferred room, in the All-Star Movies Resort, because that was the only one that was open, so that might have had something to do with it. Or it could just be I'm lucky. So basically, that's what the online check-in is. But it does not guarantee that your room will be ready when you're down there. It was for me. I never had any problem with it. My room was ready, so I got to go in and lay down. I got in there around 11 o'clock. However, some people, I mean, this does have mixed results. Some people do have to, wait until the actual check-in time, which is 4 p.m. The actual check-in time for your hotels, most Disney hotels, is usually 4 o'clock. So, keep that in mind when you're, when you're doing this thing. You might actually have to wait, especially if you're going down during busier times. The maids have to get to the rooms to clean them, to make sure they're presentables for you, because otherwise, Disney will get complaints, and that's not what Disney's all about. They're trying to make sure your stay is great. But in order to do that, it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of elbow grease to clean all that stuff up. So if your room is not ready, even though you did the online check-in, don't be upset, especially if you get there a little too early. The actual check-in time is 4 p.m. I get there early just because I like to. Basically, for me, I used the Disney Magical Express, so we didn't have a lot of bags to begin with. And if worse comes to worse, I could have just, we could have went to downtown Disney and just chilled for a little bit. Because once you check in, and you get your keys, you can go anywhere in Disney World now. So might as well go to downtown Disney and chill out. But I have read that people have had problems, and they have waited a while. So yeah, just really drilling that into your head. The online check-in doesn't always guarantee that your room will be ready. That's the last time I'm saying it, so there you go. So what am I going to give the online check-in? Now, for my experience, I give it a 4. I mean, I didn't have any problems with it. I like the fact that you can kind of check in and have everything pretty much ready when you're down there. I didn't have a problem with it. I would have liked to have heard that it worked for everybody, so that's why it's on a 5. But for my experience, honestly, it's a 4. It's a great little thing. So follow if you're going to Disney World, if you're within 10 days of your arrival day, check in. I mean, just do it. It's a really simple, preparation is free. It's really, you can prepare all you want, and it's free. But if you get down there, sometimes waiting in the lines, it just, it causes a bad taste in people's mouths. So doing this little bit first isn't that bad. So the Disney Online pre-check-in for all the Disney World resorts, Disney, except for Disneyland, the Disney Cruise Line and Disney Vacation Club stuff, 4 stars in my opinion. It's a good little service, but remember, it does not guarantee your room will be ready. That's all I'm saying about it. Let's go. Alright guys, the next thing I want to review is my favorite thing of my trip down there was the Disney dining plan. Now this is only in Walt Disney World. Disneyland has a smaller version of it, but it's not the full Disney dining plan that I knew of. I was actually pricing my Disneyland trip, and they were like, yeah, well, there's this Goofy dining plan and the Donald dining plan, and it's completely different than the Walt Disney World dining plan, so don't expect that the two are the same. Now, this Disney dining plan, the Disney dining plan is available for resort guests who either purchase a Magic Your Way package or book using the Disney Vacation Club. So you have to have a Disney package in order to in order to use this Disney dining plan. So you can't just buy tickets and then buy, your hotel room and then, separately, and then expect that you are eligible to get the dining plan. No, you have to, book through Disney or through your, authorized Disney travel agent or whatever, and get that Disney Magic Your Way package. It will be expressly, told to you that you have this Magic Your Way package and are eligible or not eligible for the Disney dining plan. Now, before I get into all the specifics and what what my experience was, let me tell you what the dining plan is. Basically, it's like a food voucher. You're prepaying for food, and you get these little points. They call them. They call them, food points. And depending on which plan you get, they have quick service. Then there's the table service plan. Then there's the table service deluxe, and they have a whole bunch of different versions. But the quick service and the table service are pretty much the only two that you really need to worry about. The other ones just mean a lot. You get a lot more stuff. Now, for each night of your stay, each guest on a reservation, on your Magic Your Way reservation, receives an allotment of quick service meals, which are basically fast food meals. Like you walk up to the counter, order, and you get your stuff and sit down at a cafeteria sort of thing. There's either, now if you have this option, you could also get table service, which is basically sit down, order, with a waiter and everything. And they also have snacks in the Disney dining plan stuff. And the number of which you get depends on the plan that you choose. So for instance, I had the quick service dining plan, which meant I got 2 snacks and 2 quick service meals each day that I was down there. We were down there for 7 days, so I got 14 snacks and 14 quick service meals that I could spend. Now, when I went down there, I initially thought that it was, per person, per card. You know what I mean? Like each card would have 14 of these, and we would have to be diligent about it. That's not how it works. There was 4 of us going down, and basically what Disney does is they do it by room, not by person. So whatever room you're staying in, that's how many dining points you'll have. So there's 4 of us in one room. Yes, 4 of us in one room. And so Disney charged 56 points to our room that we could use. 56 for quick, basically we had 56 quick service meals and 56 snacks that we could spread out throughout the day. So basically it's on you to determine how much you have and what's being used and what hasn't. Each time you use it, on the receipt that you get, it will let you know. I don't have a receipt here, but it will let you know how many quick service meals or snacks or whatever you have left. So that really worked out well for us. We never had a problem. We never ran. We never used them all and then wound up having to pay out of our own pocket. So that's that was awesome. Now, in order to actually use the points, you have to have your room key. It's all booked right here to your room key because it's all about the room, not the person. And you just swipe this card, and it's charged as a quick service meal or whatever, and it's charged to your thing. But you have to let them know I'm on the quick service plan. Oh, okay, so they put it in, slide it. Now, what a quick service meal is or consists of, it's pretty cool. You get these little pamphlets here, and they will tell you exactly what is in a quick service meal. Basically, for breakfast, a quick service meal is like one entree, basically. An entree could be, like a burger and fries. That's one entree. And you also get one non-alcoholic beverage, which is like a soda. So you got a burger and fries and a burger and fries and a drink for breakfast. That was or well, not a burger and fries, but your entree plus a drink. That's good. Now for lunch and dinner, you got an entree and a dessert and a drink. So that was pretty cool. Disney, doesn't skimp on the food here. Believe me, you will be eating a lot of food if you use this dining plan. It's pretty cool because, like for instance, one time when I was down there, I was out alone. For lunch, I went over to, it was at the Hollywood Studios, and I went over to Mill and Bill's diner, basically the little boat thing diner, and I got a hot dog. It's a really good hot dog, a bag of chips, and a frozen lemonade. They consider that to be a dessert, all for free, and that was great. That was my meal, and if I wanted to, I could have gotten a drink. That would have been, adequate too. So I would have gotten a drink, a frozen lemonade, a bag of chips, and a hot dog. That's a ton of food. That's a good lunch right there. So Disney doesn't skimp on the food. So don't think that Disney, is just trying to screw you out of this, and all that. So now, one tip in order to pick which dining plan that you want, know what you want to, what you plan on doing before you go down. That's one thing I keep telling people. Know what you are going to be doing when before you go down and choose this stuff. I knew going down that I was going to be only eating at a table service restaurant one day for one meal. That was it. It was when I was going to eat at the Le Cellier Steakhouse, and that was it. That's all. I knew that was my only table service experience down there. So it wouldn't have benefited me to pay extra for the table service for the table service plan. But I knew I was going to be eating more quick service than anything, and I figured that with the 2 snacks, I could get 2 snacks, use them for breakfast, and with my lunch and dinner, use the 2 quick service things for lunch and dinner, and I would be totally ready to go, because I'm pretty much just going to eat in the park, and my hotel, which was the All-Star Movies, had a cafeteria-like thing, and that consisted of a quick service restaurant. All that is in this little pamphlet. It gives you a whole list of all the different quick service locations. And again, if you're with table service, a list will be provided for you in the little pamphlet. So don't worry about this. I'm just saying quick service because that was my experience. But all this information can be kind of spread out to the table service or the premium service restaurant or dining plan. So just keep that in mind. But you know what you're doing before you go down, and you'll be, you won't overpay for anything, because this does get a little pricey. If you're actually paying for the Disney dining plan, it will cost you a pretty penny. I was fortunate enough to have gotten the free, to have gone down during a time when it was a free dining plan giveaway thing. Disney does promotions every now and then, especially during times where there's not a whole lot of people down there, where in order to get people to come to Disney World, they'll say if you buy a Magic Your Way package, you can get a free dining plan during the whole time you're down there. I didn't know that there was a promotion going on, so I had already planned on spending an extra $1,000. Yes, $1,000, because each day it's like $50 per person, so that's like $100. So that was $200 per person per day. It was just crazy. The figures were astronomical, but I was going to pay it just because I wanted to experience it, and 2, I kind of wanted to review it, and I just didn't want to have to worry about food while I was down there. I always wanted to be safe with food. Like, no matter what, I would at least have food while I was down there, so I could prepay for that and not worry about spending money on food while I was down there, except for the Le Cellier stuff, but that was already factored into it. So I was prepared to pay it, but as time went on, money was getting tight and I wasn't ready for it. I was going to have to call my travel agent to let them know that I wasn't going to be able to do the dining plan and to take that off. So I was worried about food and everything. But then my friend Jason, I've mentioned it before, he texted me on phone or messaged me on Facebook one time and said, I'm just letting you know that when you're down there, Disney's running a free dining plan thing. And I was like, well, from my understanding, basically, your entire stay had to fit in with the times that they gave you, but that's not the case. As long as you check in within one of those, within that time frame, as long as you just check in, you get that entire week, your entire stay, free dining plan stuff. So luckily for me, the day we checked in was the last day. Literally, it was the last day that that dining plan thing went into effect. So luckily for me, I got a free dining plan. It was the quick service dining plan, so I got my dining plan for free. I let my travel agent know about it, and she subtracted that number from the total, and it was so great to see that cha-ching, that was paid off. I got free food for me and my friends, and that was just awesome. So we didn't wind up having any problems, because if it wasn't for him, I doubt I would have actually gone to Disney World, because I wouldn't have had the money to. But yeah, the dining plan is totally worth it. I know I kind of rambled on about this, but I wanted to give you as much information as I possibly can. There's tons of links. I have a link below that to kind of give you an idea of what it is. This place actually updates it every year, so because every year the dining plans kind of change. Another cool thing was I got a free mug. With this thing, they actually give you free mugs for your hotel. It was awesome because I used that mug to the nth degree. They had Powerade there on tap. Well, I guess you could say on tap, but it was great because Powerade was vital to me. I drank it, whenever I left the hotel, and when I got back to the hotel, I just chugged it to kind of replenish the electrolytes and stuff in there. It's awesome. My experience with the dining plan was great. I got it for free, so that always helps. But and even if I had to pay for it, I know it would have been money well spent. A funny story is we actually had extra points at the end of our trip, and before we checked out, before we actually went to the place and checked out, we gathered in the cafeteria. We ate breakfast, and we had like 12 points left or whatever. We had a couple snack points and a couple actual meal points. Now, if you want to transfer meals into snacks, that's possible. Each meal is worth 3 snacks. So what we did was, a snack to Disney World is huge. It's like a bag full of candy. It's unreal, like how much food they actually give you with this dining plan. So what we did, we took all of that stuff and we decided, you know what, let's just shove as much candy as we can in our carry-on bags and just try all this stuff. So we bought all this candy. It was like gummy worms, all that stuff, and we were just going to bring them back for, some for us, some for our friends and whatnot. We shoved it all this. We wound up with like 36 bags of candy. It was unreal, and it was all for free, because it was the greatest thing ever, getting that stuff for free. I loved the fact that every time I swiped this card and got a meal for free, I felt so great, because I don't know, it was nice getting something for free and not having to worry about it. So again, play the deals. Go to mousesavers.com. Yes, mousesavers.com. They'll just keep an eye on that, and if you're going down during a certain time, they have all the great ways for you to save money. If you're AAA, if you're in the Army or whatever, Disney does deals. However, Disney doesn't advertise it a lot, because they don't, obviously they want as much money as they can possibly get. They're still a business no matter what. So, but if you have the information and you talk to Disney, or you talk to your travel agent, give your travel agent or tell Disney that you have this promo code, and they'll put in the promo code and cut that little bit of money off of your total. It's totally worth it. So if you actually want to save money when going to Disney World, mousesavers.com is a good place to start. So yeah, getting the dining plan for free was awesome. I would have paid for it and I would have enjoyed it. It's totally worth it. Now, if you're going for a short amount of time, the dining plan isn't really worth it. Just saying. If you're going for a long amount of time, it's totally worth it. Especially if you know how you're going to be, spending your money. If I had bought a table service dining plan and only used the quick service stuff, I would have had all these table service points that I wouldn't have used. It would have been money, uselessly spent. And unless I got it for free, I wouldn't have cared. But if I did spend all that money and I didn't use those points, I would have felt like I was being cheated. So I would have had to figure something out. However, that was not the case, and I didn't have to pay for it. So know what you're going to be doing before you go down. If you're going to be spending, if you're going to be going to a table service restaurant each and every single day, maybe the table service restaurant's going to be the one for you, because they gives you a table service restaurant, a quick service meal and 2 snacks, I think. But then you got the premium packages with, that includes the character dining and all that stuff. But again, if you're using table service restaurants and the character dining, you got to pre-plan, you got to book 6 months in advance. I didn't want to have to deal with all that, so I just got the quick service dining plan, which I think is the most bang for your buck, because honestly, when you're in Disney World, you're not, unless you're like the richest person ever, I don't think you're sitting down to eat at an actual restaurant each and every single time you're down there. For me, I go to the Pecos Cafe, get some great food. An entree there was like a giant burger, some fries, a little dessert, and a drink. That's all I needed. Gives me sustenance to move on throughout the day and get on, with my time through the park. So the Disney dining plan was totally worth it. Okay, I rambled on too much. I wanted to, make sure I try to get as much information as I could. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Message me, comment, down below, whatever. So I'm going to give rate the dining plan 5 stars. I think it's a great idea. It's 5 stars only if you know what you're going to be doing before you go down. I knew what I was going to go down. I knew what I was doing, before I went down. I got mine for free, but I would have spent the money for it, and I know I would have used it all. And it was a good investment, especially if you're going down there for a long period of time. If you're going down for a short period of time, might not be the best investment ever, because you're really kind of paying premium prices. But if you do spend the money on it, make sure you use all the points, even if it's just stuff and candy at the end of your trip in your bags. Use all the points. It's money that you spent to get, it's money that you spent before to get food while you're down there. So make sure your money is worth, is where it should be, and really use that, use all the points there. I want to drill that into your head too. So the dining plan at Disney World, I think it's totally worth it, especially if you're down there for a long period of time. Try it out, especially if you're going down and you get it for free. Always say yes if you're getting it for free. It's free food, free stuff. What can there's no sweat off your back, so just get it. Who cares? So that's good to know. Dining plan, excellent stuff. You don't have to worry about food while you're down there. I personally had a great experience with it. I know my friends did. They enjoyed it because we didn't have to worry about food while we were down there, and we got some good food. So yeah, awesome stuff. And the Disney food is actually really good. It's not like McDonald's or anything. It's higher quality McDonald's. Yeah, so there you go. Disney dining plan, 5 stars. I'm done talking about it. If you have any questions, let me know. Well, yeah, that was a long video. I didn't really mean it to be, but I rambled on a little bit because I wanted to give all the information I could, especially this being the last viewer request week and all. But if you have any more questions, let me know. Like, message me if you want to just talk privately, or message me in the comments section, and we'll try to get a conversation going. I'll do my best to answer your questions. Again, I don't work for Disney. I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has a little bit too much time on his hands every week, and I love doing this, and I love you guys. So I'm trying to give as much information as I can to you, so that you go down to Disney World knowing what you need to know, and Disney will benefit just because you're down there. So it's awesome. So yeah, if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. Pretty much, I just want people to go to Disney World and have a great time, and go during the off season, because there's a lot of really cool off season stuff, like Halloween, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. It's really cool stuff. So if you can take your kids out of school for that little bit, it's really worth your time. So yeah, go to allears.net, touringplans.com, wdwmagic.com for all your latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too. I know I say that each and every single time, but those really are great websites, especially if you're going down to Disney World, to really do some research. Again, I keep saying this. Planning is free. You can plan for as long for as long as you want, and it's totally free. So read as much as you can, know as much as you can, because knowledge is power, and you will really reap the benefits of knowing more than most people, especially if you want to save some money, or at least maximize your time in Disney World. So yeah, also message me if you have any ideas about the live Q&A. That should be in early September, I'm hoping. So I'm just seeing if people would like that, or if people would even watch. I need to know if you actually would even watch that, so as to not waste my time on it. So yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next week for another Disney news and reviews. Bye, guys.